Hello, welcome to AutoCAD Fundamental. I'm Bayo Kilanko, and I'll be your instructor through the phase of this course. AutoCAD is a CAD software that is used globally in the engineering, construction, and design industries for drafting and modeling. It is built to assist in creating, modifying, optimizing, and sharing accurate information on drawing. This is an AutoCAD 2D course that will introduce you to some drawing fixtures, and likewise there is a project that will aid the learning process during this course, and the following would be covered during this course. We will be looking at our interface, getting started with the AutoCAD interface too, and also some drawing tools, the basic drawing tools that we have in AutoCAD, some basic modification tools that will aid our drawing. Then the project will be developing a project, have a project to work with in AutoCAD. Likewise, have to dimension our work, have to dimension our drawing, and also looking at leader in cases where dimension cannot work in some drawing, then leader come in place. We also look at how we can arch our work, our projects, and our drawings. Then we'll look at layer management as well, on how to recognize various aspects of our work. Then look at text, also look at text, how we can bring in text into our drawing. Then as well, table, and how to have a table for bill of quantity on our drawing, or whenever we are looking at some assembly drawing where we need to have various parts of the drawing. We also look at blocks. Block will enable us to be able to keep some drawing in library, so we can always use them over and over again. Then we'll also be looking at external reference, which is referencing your work, bringing in another file or the AutoCAD file into the current drawing. And we also look at the parametric constraints, the various aspects of parametric constraint to give us a good and balanced drawing. And we'll be drafting our project as well. So the project we'll be working on is an isometric project. Then after the isometric part, we look at the orthographic part that communicates the top, side, and right view of the drawing, which could be the first angle and the third angle projection. Then lastly, we'll be plotting our work. We'll look at how we can plot it, then present it to whosoever will be giving it to, and also printing out the work. It is my pleasure and great privilege to walk you through this journey of learning AutoCAD 2D. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello, welcome to AutoCAD Fundamental. In this course, we'll be looking at AutoCAD and what AutoCAD can do. As you all know, AutoCAD is a drafting tool and a modeling tool as well that can be used in engineering industry, both be it in construction, which is civil, architectural, mechanical, electrical, chemical, and you can name it all. So we make use of AutoCAD as a drafting tool, basically majorly drafting tools in this industry. So during this course, we'll be looking at what we can achieve with AutoCAD for drafting and drawing. So, but before we start, this video is an introduction to how to get familiar with the AutoCAD interface. So this is the welcome page that shows us the recent drawing that has been done in recent time. But right here I do not have anyone. So by the time you install your AutoCAD, you won't have a recent drawing, what you can just see is the AutoCAD sample file, right? So we have various templates that you can work with in AutoCAD, but we'll be working with the default templates, and as well you can open existing file. So right now click on new, and immediately I click on new, I have this right, and here is where we call the workspace, where we do our drawing, right? And the cursor that you can see is called the crosshair. Now we have the application menu. So this is my application menu, where most of the file management fixtures appear on, and you can pick it to create a new file, you want to open an existing file, you want to save, and the likes. Our application menu. Then also I have what is called the quick access toolbar. So now our quick access toolbar are some of the application menu fixtures, right? You can see them, they are here. Then also I can also bring another fixture out to be part of this quick access toolbar. So for instance, I can bring out my let's say I want to bring out a layer. This is layer here, and I can take it out if I want to. Then I have my ribbons. So my ribbons are under various panels in the toolbar. So the line, polyline, circle, move, rotate, text, and these are all ribbons, and they belong to various panels. This is the draw panel, the modify panel, right? And here is where we have the title bar. So this title bar contains the name of the drawing. So if I change this drawing title to construction of a silo, so that is what we are going to have here, and not drawing 3. So by the time if I should save it as construction of silo, that's what we have there. And the .dwg is AutoCAD file extension, right? Then do not forget, this is our workspace where all the drawing take place, right? And I have my status bar. So the status bar, this is the status bar here, where most of the precision tools are. So I have the grid line, which I can turn on or turn off, and I can snap to my grid points. I can snap to my grid line, right? Then I have the dynamic input. So AutoCAD responds to syntax or command, and this is the command line for AutoCAD, right? So if my dynamic input is on, then I will be able to see whatsoever I type here, and it will give me various suggestions. For instance, line. If I have press my L for line, you can see various options, right? But if my dynamic input is off and I enter L, so it will show, you can see the L is showing on my command line. So that is one of the usefulness of dynamic input, and it's very essential that you put it off whenever you are working with a particular coordinate system, which is the absolute coordinate system. Because if you don't put it off, then if you need to enter a coordinate for a particular line or a particular object, it will go somewhere else. So you have to put that in mind. Then I have the auto. So the auto, which shortcut is F8, is used to have our drawing orthogonally. It restricts it orthogonally, that is in 90 degree. That's what auto does. Then I have what is called the polar tracking, that can help us to track according to various preset angles, right? Then I have the ISO draft. The ISO draft help us to work on the isometric plane, which we have various plane, left, top, and right iso plane. We also have the object snap, that can help us to snap to various aspects of our object, the endpoint. You can pick endpoint of a drawing, midpoint, circle, center of a drawing if it is on, and if they are all selected, if they are selected according to the path you want to pick. Then I also have the line width. Right now, one thing about this is, if you come to this customization, you can either bring it on and bring it off, take it off. So for instance, if I want to take off my line width, I can click on line width, is gone. Then I can bring it on back. Right, so it's very common that you can have this a feature on and it won't appear. For instance, this is on my dynamic input, I can take it away. You can see it's not here, but it can still be on. If I should bring it back, this is it, is here. Right, so and we have the navigation tools, this pan, the zoom and the likes. So if I click here, I have various type of zoom, but with your mouse you can do all that. With the mouse you can actually, using the middle mouse to zoom in and zoom out, and holding the middle mouse you can pan around your drawing. Now let us look at some of the settings that you need to consider whenever you want to start a drawing. For instance, we have the unit setting. So you need to set your unit, and the shortcut for unit is UN. Right, enter. So I have various type of length that I can work with: architectural, decimal, engineering, fractional. So in my own industry, I will use decimal most of the time. And we have precision, so you can pick your precision according to your text. For instance, if I should pick 0.0 as my precision and I draw a line of 1.27, then it will definitely approximate it to 1.3 because my precision is in 0.0. But if my precision is in 0.00, then it will leave it as 1.27. Right, that's one of the usefulness of precision. And likewise, my units, I can change it to whatever unit that appeal to me or according to the drawing I'm about to make, and click enter. Then another thing that we can bear in mind is most of all these precision tools here, if you go to what we call draft setting, which shortcut is DS, and I enter, then I have it, most of them here. The polar tracking, which is this, is here. The object snap, which is this, is there. So most of them dynamic inputs, they are here, right? And here I can change to either orthographic or isometric. This my rectangular snap will help me to draw in an orthographic pattern, right? And if I want to change to isometric, I can come to click on here, right? So basically, these are all you need to know about the AutoCAD interface. During the course of this AutoCAD Fundamental, we'll be looking at how we can make use of all these tools to work and to actualize your with me. And thank you for watching. See you in the next video. In this video, we will be looking at basic drawing tools. So coming down to the draw panel, we have the basic drawing ribbons for drawing basic shape. The first on the list is line, and the shortcut, do not forget that AutoCAD, you can input shortcut when working in AutoCAD. So the shortcut for line is L. So immediately I type L, it will bring out the line command, so I can select it and draw my line. Now if I should come down here as well, pick my line, so the instruction says specify first point, so I can say this is my first point, and it will ask me specify next point, so I can pick my next point, specify next point, so I can keep going on till I have my full geometry. By the time I'm done, I hit the spacebar shape or the enter spacebar key or the enter key. Right, that is line. Polyline is different from line in the aspect that the whole line are jointed together, unlike line that you have them individually. So if I should select this part, if I should move my mouse this way, I can only select them individually because they are made up of various segments. But if I should just select this once to select everything, so this is one of the difference between a line and a polyline. So polyline are jointed together, while line are just individual lines. And if we look at the grid, from here I can use this grid points to move it around, and you'll notice that I only have square grid. Why this? I have square grid at the edge, then at the vertices, then I have my rectangular grid in the middle here. So from here I can put my mouse on this and convert to arc. I can also move it, then I can convert to arc here. You can see, which cannot be done here. I can only move this here. Right, at this vertex I can stretch my vertex. I can stretch it. I can remove the vertex, and I can also add to it. You see that here I can stretch the stretch it, and I can lengthen it as well. So basically those are the difference between a line and a polyline. The next on the list is circle. So we have 6 ways of drawing our circle, which I'll just show you about 2 ways. The first one is center radius, second one is center diameter, meaning I will select my center first, and the shortcut for circle is C. Right, so I'll come down, select my center radius, ask me to specify my center. I can pick anywhere to be my center. I'll click here, so that's my center. Now I'm going to input my radius, right? So I can decide to say my radius should be 2. I have this, and to go back to that command I can hit my spacebar shape. Now I'll select my center. From here I can decide to pick my diameter. So if you come to the command line, I have diameter, so D, the diameter starts with D, and D is in blue color. So meaning to pick my diameter I can just enter it on the keyboard. That's it. I'll pick D, enter. So I'll pick diameter. So my diameter will be 4 to have the center like this. Then I have my diameter, center diameter. Then I'll click this the center. Then I will specify the diameter, probably 2 this time around for my diameter. Then I have 2 points, will be between 2 points. Drawing a circle between 2 points. Probably I want to draw a circle between this point and this point. I also have 3 points, so I'll have to pick 3 points, and so then other one you can take a look at them. We have tan radius, so you pick your tangent where the circle will be tangent to one another, and you specify the radius between them. I want it to be 2. Oops, I can actually pick this. That's it. I want to target to this, then specify my radius. Right, then
I have my hack. So I have various ways of drawing my hack as well. All you just need is to follow the instruction. That is how they start from. So the 3 points, I asked me to first, the first, the second, then the third. So I will be doing this properly right now. And to do this, say I have something like this. So for the 3 points, pick my 3 points. Now pick 1, 2, 3. That is for my 3 points. I have the hack, right? Then I have start, center, end. So meaning this point, to draw something like this point will be my start, and this point will be my center, then my end. But to draw it the other way around, right, then this point will be my start, my center, and my end. So you just have to follow the sequence. We also have start, center, angle, start, center, length, start, center, start, end, direction, start, end. This is the end. Then you specify your direction to it. I have start, end, radius. Will be my start, end, radius, right? So to draw it this way, this will be my start, this will be my end. Then I will specify my radius. Now my radius should be 1.5. Right. So they are all the same thing actually. So but you can, just that the difference that they have is the sequence of drawing it. That's what makes them different, but they're all going to give you the same input, right? So let me pick up that again. The start, end, they specify the radius. This time around, this place will be my start. Then my end, then I can specify my radius. I'll be like 20. So I have something that is so small actually. Now then we have rectangle and polygon. So I'll pick my rectangle, and the shortcut for rectangle is RAC, rectangle. So I have to pick the first corner and they specify the other corner. So I have my rectangle. Still on the rectangle, after picking my rectangle, I can specify the area to draw my rectangle. So I select A, pick area. So I can decide to say the length, the total area of my rectangle should be 20. Now I can specify either length or width. So let me just pick that. Okay, my length should be 5. Then automatically make sure that the other part is 4. So I have that. Stay on the rectangle. I can use dimension. So it will tell me to specify the length. So I can set that my length should be 20, while my width should be 10. So I have something like this. And still I can rotate and specify my angle of rotation, right? Then I have my polygon. So polygon, so it asks me to enter the number of polygon I want, probably 6. Then I have inscribe in circle and circumscribe about circle. So if I should have a circle of, let's say, 2, of radius 2, and I pick my polygon, accept, and if I should pick inscribe in circle, I'll also I specify my radius to be 2. You see, it's going to inscribe it inside. Let me have another circle of 2. Now this time around, I want my polygon to be circumscribed about the circle, and I still enter the radius of 2. You see it's outside, so those are the difference between them. Then I have my ellipse. So I have 3 ways of drawing the ellipse, which we'll be looking at 2: the center and the axis end. So the center is, you are going to pick the center, then you specify half of the length, then your radius. So for instance, if I should have a line of, let's say, a line of 5, of length of 5. So if I should pick my ellipse, I'll pick the center first, then half of the length, then can input my radius of, let's say, radius should be 1.25. So I have this. Right, now let us look at the second one, which is axis end. So I'm going to pick my length, then specify the radius. So pick my length from here to here, which is my length, then I'll specify the radius 1.25. So I have this. Right, so basically these are the basic drawing tools that we will be making use in AutoCAD, and our projects which we'll be working on in this course, we will be making use of these tools for our projects. So I just want to introduce these tools to you, and in the next video we will look at modified tools. Then after modified tools, we are going to start working on our project, of which our project will be on isometric drawing. Thank you for watching. So in this video, we will be looking at some of the modified tools that will be used during the course of developing our project. First on the list, I have the move command. So the move is to move our object from one point of the working interface to another. So M for move. So let's move, or come down here to pick my move. So right, so pick my move. So I want to move this and bring it here, and it's inside to ask me to select it, then enter. So I'll pick the base point, that is where I want to move it from. So I would like to move from the center and bring it down here. That is the move command, and you can actually select more than one command, more than one object, and move it. Then I have the copy. A copy is to have a duplicate of another object. So I like to copy this. Ask me to select the object, select my object, hit the enter key, then I'll pick where I want to copy it to. Right, now I can copy more than once because of my mode is on multiple. To look at this, CO is the shortcut for copy. Let's select the object, click enter. Now I have mode here, so enter O. So currently I'm on multiple. If I change to single, I will only copy once. Hit space back to go back to the command, select, then I can also array it. So I'll click on A for array, then ask me number of array. I decide to say I want 5 of it, so 5 of it appear, and you can array them. Right, then I have my rotate as well. So rotate will rotate, the rotate tool will rotate my object. So if I should have, let's say, something like this, so I can select my rotate, on which the shortcut is RO for rotate. Right, so ask me to select the object, select it, hit enter. the base point of rotation, where I want to rotate it from. I can pick this base point, then I can rotate it or specify my angle of rotation. Now if I should put my auto on, then it will restrict my rotation orthogonally, of which the shortcut for auto is F8. I come down here to pick my auto. Let me just put it on. Like I said, using the shortcut of F8, my auto is on. So if I should pick my line, see, it will restrict it orthogonally, right? So I can also take it back. This is my auto here, so I can take it back, right? Now then I have the trim command. On the trim command, I can trim off any part I don't want. So I can take away all this part that I don't want it. Now under trim, I also have extend. So they work interchangeably. I can hold down my shift key and click on this line, and it will extend it. Hold down it and click here, it will extend. So if I should come to my extend properly and I hold this and I hold down my shift key, it will trim it. But if I do not hold down any shift key, it will extend. It will extend. So to trim off this part, when you are on the extend command, you hold down your shift key. Right. Then I have my fillet. So fillet is to give your object a curved edge, a curved vertex. Now click this. Want to apply it on this vertex. So it asks me to specify first object. Meanwhile, before you do that, you have to specify your radius. So I'll enter out for my radius, and I can give it probably a radius of 0.5. Then ask me to select the first line, select the second line. So I've given it a fillet. Likewise, I have chamfer, right? And the shortcut for chamfer is CHA. So I'll pick chamfer. Chamfer, you have to specify two distance. So before I do that, I'll enter D to specify my distance. The first distance should be 0.15, and the second distance should be 0.1. So the first line I'll select will take my first distance. So I'm going to pick this. This will take 0.15. Then this. So I have my chamfer H. Then I also have this stretch command. The stretch. So I can use stretch. Now to make use of stretch, I must make sure that I make my selection from the vertex. So I'll select this to the vertex, hit enter, right? Then I can stretch it. See that? That is how it works. Selecting it from the vertex. So make sure I make the selection from the vertex. I can stretch it. Right. Stay on the modify tool. I can also mirror. The shortcut is MR for mirror. So if I should have something like this, something like this, I can just have an imaginary line that I'll pick to be my mirror line. Let's just have something like that. So I want to mirror this part to this side. So pick my mirror. It asks me to select the object. This is the object. Enter. Then it asks me to specify the first mirror line and the second mirror line. Here's this. Now the question is, do I want to erase the source object? This is the source object. I will say no. It won't erase it. But what if it asks me to? What if I pick yes? I select this, and from here, and I pick yes, it will erase it. You get that? Then I have my scale. So scale, you scale your object by inputting the scale factor. So I'll pick my scale. As select the object. I'd make sure I want to scale this object. Is to select it, enter. So it asks me to pick my base point. I can pick this as my base point, then ask me to enter the scale factor. Then I'll put 0.5 to be my scale factor. See, it's reduced. So that is scaling. Right. That is scaling. Then I have explode. Right. So this will help me to explain one of the difference of line and a polyline as well. So if I shall, you all know that polyline are jointed line, right? So if I shall have a polyline, of which a rectangle is also made up of polyline. So if I shall have a rectangle, now this rotation up take place because I rotate my rectangle earlier on. So I'm going to take it back and enter 0 as my angle of rotation. Then I have this back. Now selecting my explode, and shortcut is X. Explode. Ask me to select the object, which is this. I'm going to explode. Now before I explode it, if I just select it, everything is 1, right? Now pick my explode, then select the object, and I'll hit enter. So right now I have them in various segments. So meaning I can convert my polyline into a line, and likewise I can convert my line into polylines as well, right? So for instance, so the command to convert a polyline to line is explode, while the command to convert line into polyline is join. So I have them individually, right? Now I will unselect this while I select just these 3. Then I can use the shortcut join and hit enter. So I have them as one entity right now, and I can move it about, right? That is explode. Then we have offset. So offset is to give it a distance, to give it a similar object distance away from each other. So and the shortcut is OF, offset, right? And this is offset here on the panel, the modify panel. So I'll click offset, then I'll specify the distance, my offset distance. So I want to pick my offset distance should be 0.25. Enter. Then as to select the object, you can see I can bring it in or out. This is my offset. And another way, if you are not sure about your offset distance, you can use the true. So I'll enter T for true, then I can select, then offset it manually, right? That is offset. Then I have my erase. I can erase unwanted object on my screen, right? So by the time I'm done, I'll hit my enter key to permanently erase. So if I should mistakenly selected what I don't want, I can just use oops to bring it back, right? Now then the last that I'll be explaining right now is my array. is the array. So, and I have three types of array. I have the rectangular, I have the polar array, and I have the path array. And all these tools that I've explained will be useful when developing our projects. So I'll pick my array, rectangular array. So for instance, if I should have a path of this, I should have this, I will have this circle here. So I can use the array, rectangular array. It has to select the object, select this, enter. Then I will have my array. Now by default, this is what I'll have. So to change the direction, I'll use this, and to increase it, right? And from here, I can then use this to increase it. And here I have my columns and rows, so I can decide to say my row should be just 5, so to reduce it. Then to increase the distance between them, make use of this. Then my column, I decide to say my should be 5. Then I can still use this to bring it in, or you actually input the distance between them. So this is how rectangular array work. For a polar array, I should have something like this. I pick and have, let's say, just a small circle here. I want it to go around it, so I make use of my polar array. Select the object, enter. Then it asks me to specify the center point, so I'll pick my center point. So the items, the total angle of to fill this item is 360. So right now I have 6 items. If I extend this to 180, it will string them here, and I can still reduce the number of items. Let's say I want just 4, and I can take this back to 360. Now I have something like this. So this is my polar array. Then I have path array. Path array will be along a path. I select this, click here, then select my path array. I select the object, then it asks me to select my path curve. So I ask me to select my path curve. This will be my path curve. Then I have this. Now the items will take the full length of my path, unless I actually just reduce it this way. Right, and I can have a spline. Yes, spline, special line. Then probably have something like this. And my path array, select the object, enter, and select the path curve. To take, and you can actually reduce the number of items. Click close. So these are the basic modifier tools that we'll be making use in the course of developing our projects. Thank you for watching. Let's move on to the next video.